So last night watched the Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley um, fight, if that's what you want to call it. Really interesting. I'm trying not to get really into these in-depth, long fight analysis type videos. You've got loads of people doing them. Um, Loads of people that concentrate on purely boxing and everything. But mine is just from a viewer's perspective. I've been following boxing for a long time. Um, Always been a fan of boxing. It's my preferred sport. And I watched it back in the days, all the way from Mike Tyson, all the way through to Barry McGuigan, then moving on to Nigel Benns, Chris Eubanks, Michael Watson's, and that sort of era. So I've always had a quite a few years of watching boxing and being interested in as a fan. Whether you call it casual, whether you call it somebody who has been able to sort of gain a quite a bit of spectator knowledge, whatever you want to call it. But I'm a boxing fan, and obviously the new phenomenon with this YouTube venture that was started out by KSI Logan Paul, and now we're moving into things like the fight last night, Tyron Woodley, Jake Paul, Mayweather, Conor McGregor, the exhibition fights between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. We've got all of these things that are coming into the play now, within the boxing environment, and that are outside of the belts and the generic competitive sanctioned bouts that we have. So the thing that stood out for me is obviously before the fight there was all the speculation who's going to win. Tyron Woodley's a ex world champion, UFC star, MMA star. Logan Paul is somebody that's come via the YouTube route. He had four fights prior to last night. Hadn't fought an established boxer. Had only fought people that were either retired or non-professional boxers. So yeah, it's just one of those ones where you're thinking, do you know what? Is it worth watching? Is it something that puts down the sport of boxing, or is it something that brings more followers and more eyes onto boxing as a whole? But for me, this is not what I'm here to talk about. It's about the fact that I watched, a professional fighter who, from my perspective, had a great chance of winning. And that was evidenced in the fourth round when he caught Jake Paul with a punch that sent him basically into the ropes. It looked as if the ropes actually held Jake Paul up and stopped him from, you know, going down and taking a count, etc. But for me, it was more about why Tyron Woodley did not actually throw many punches, and this leads to all of the questions again that you can speculate about whether this fight was fixed. Why didn't he throw the punches? Was he paid? Was he told just to carry Jake Paul? All of these kind of things that really stood out for me. So for me, what I will be doing is just sort of not vividly, keeping an eye on things, but just looking and checking and seeing from the aftermath of this fight what the talk is, especially around the fact that Tyron Woodley didn't let his hands go. So it's quite interesting. I've watched a post-fight press conference. Woodley is convinced that he won. I'm not so sure. He wasn't busy enough. He wasn't as busy as Jake Paul. So the thing that again bothers me about that is that the fact that throughout the fight, Woodley's corner were telling him to let his hands go. The way I interpreted the dialogue in the corner was that, you know, the corner was saying, look, you need to be busier. You need to go out there. You need to assert yourself. You need to let your hands go. You need to jab. And Woodley just seemed not to respond to those directions or the advice of his corner. So, but at the end, he was saying that the corner said that they thought he won. So I'm not really sure where that's come from. So I don't know. It's a short video. I'm just trying to get other people's perspective on it. Are people leaning towards, he just froze, he couldn't, he didn't show up on the night? Do you think there's anything more to it? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. Yeah, let's hope that whether or not there is a rematch, that we do actually start seeing some entertaining boxing matches going forward now that the COVID restrictions have been lifted, and hopefully we'll see some fights. We've got some good fights coming up. Let's hope that they actually turn up for them. Okay, thanks a lot, and I'd love you to subscribe to my channel. I will be doing a few different things. It's not just the boxing channel, and I look forward to hearing your comments. Thank you.